I would say this is a rare time where pretty much every team in the NFL actually has a pretty decent starting QB, other than maybe the Jets, Raiders, and Browns, but you get my point. But what if all those starting quarterbacks just randomly retired? Well, that's exactly what I did today, where every team's backup quarterback is now their starter, and every team's regular starting quarterback, assuming they're all healthy, was all shipped off to the home. And we are gonna see today which backup QBs end up becoming the best starters in the NFL, and which teams end up becoming the best in the NFL without their regular starting QB. But I'm excited to get into this, and just super quick, if you enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps out the channel, even though it sounds weird. And we got to over 2,500 likes on the last similar video to this I did, so let's see if we can hit that again. And if we can, as soon as we hit that goal, I will do an experiment where I remove every starting player in the NFL. I've done that before, but I feel like NFL teams are different enough now from that point. So again, 2,500 likes, I'll do that. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're less than 15K away from 100K. Trying to get that silver play button, you know what I mean? So if you like rebuilds and goofy franchise challenges, that's all I do. And then very last thing, let me know any goofy challenge you can come up with in the comments. If I use your idea, I'll give you a shout out. But all right, without further ado, let's get into this thing. Obviously, some teams here keep their current starters due to injury, like the Bengals with Joe Flacco, but obviously I'm not gonna retire Joe Flacco and let the Bengals keep Joe Burrow for this challenge. Oh yeah, and leave your prediction down in the comments for who you think is gonna be the best performing quarterback in this rebuild. I think the pretty obvious one is Shedeur Sanders. He's up there for MVP in even normal rebuilds I do. Mac Jones I expect to do well. Anthony Richardson, Kenny Pickett even. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be using the Seahawks. We're gonna try to, improve this team even more, and we are gonna start Jalen Milroe. We'll have to see how he does. Might develop really well, or we might end up just drafting a different QB. No idea. But all right, let's just get straight to the end of this year and we'll see what happens. I'm half expecting some really weird stuff. I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns had the 1 seed in the AFC or something. But all right, in year 1, we end up going only 6-11. I would think the Seahawks playbooks aren't that good in Madden, but I actually see them in the Super Bowl a lot, so I'm not gonna change them yet. Jalen Milroe was okay. I'll check who the best and worst performing QBs were, obviously. Sacked 51 times. Kenneth Walker did pretty well, though. How many rushing yards did Milroe get? Only 200. I'm thinking about going with the, not Bengals, but Eagles offensive playbook. I don't want to go Ravens because they hardly pass in Madden. Looks like the Colts ran a decent bit. It looks like the Eagles traded for Aiden O'Connell instead of just starting Tanner McKee. All right. Anyway, JSN, almost 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. The O-line was a little questionable. I benched Olu Oluwatimi for Jalen Sundell, and that didn't work. I benched Christian Haynes for Bryce Cable, dude. That kind of worked. He was pretty good. And then Ernest Jones led the team in tackles. 9 TFLs for Leonard Williams led the team. 11 sacks. 9.5 for Mafe and 9 for Lawrence. That was better than I expected. Normally, Boye Mafe gets like 4 on a good day. And picks, 4 for Ernest Jones, 3 for Witherspoon, Woolen, and Emanwari, 2 for Bryant, 1 for Kendrick. Not bad. But first let's check the stats for the QBs. Then we'll check MVP and all that. Joe Flacco had the most passing yards, obviously, because he's in the Bengals playbook, but 34 touchdowns to 22 picks. Not to spoil the Bengals rebuild I did, but that might be the exact stat line he had when he started the first year for us in the Bengals rebuild. Go watch that after this. That was a lot of fun. A team that I rarely rebuild on the channel because they're not usually too bad. That's kind of weird though. But it looks like the best passer rating, unsurprisingly, went to Mac Jones. Russell Wilson up here. Davis Mills might win MVP. 3,900 yards, 39 touchdowns, 13 picks. Aiden O'Connell did well. Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Carson Wentz. Kinda predictable, other than Davis Mills and Aiden O'Connell did better than I expected. And where is... Okay, Trey Lance is way down here. I thought he would be pretty high up. And Shedeur Sanders was pretty bad. 17 touchdown passes to 20 picks. Looks like the worst QBs for passer rating were Joe Milton, Will Levis, Zach Wilson, Shedeur Sanders, Mitch Trubisky. Jalen Milroe was down there, unfortunately. Tanner McKee ended up on the Broncos. Okay, I guess some shuffling happened. But all right, let's check MVP. It goes to Russell Wilson. Gardner Minshew at 2, Davis Mills at 3. Definitely not the list we're used to to sing. Nick Mullins up here. Joe Mixon made it, a running back. I'm kind of surprised he was the running back that made it, but I guess he did well. Cam Scatterbo led the league in yards. But let's see, JSN at 5 for Offensive Player of the Year, NFC at least. Puka Nacua wins it. Micah Parsons was Defensive Player of the Year. Cam Scatterbo wins NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tyler Shuck at 5. Couple Seahawks up here, including Jalen Milroe. How about AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year? Any QBs? Will Howard at 4. I didn't even notice what he did, but he's the only one. Again, I'm really surprised Shedeur Sanders was that bad because, like I was saying, he's usually up there for MVP in just regular rebuilds I do. So we'll see if he starts playing better. But all right, let's get into this first offseason. We're probably going to have some QBs move around. They are going to be very expensive. Ooh, it looks like Anthony Richardson developed pretty well, up to an 80 already. He's the best QB in the league now. So we'll see where these QBs go in free agency. I'm thinking about drafting a QB, but it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of competition. And like I did in the last retired players rebuild I did, whatever you want to call it, I did set QBs to very weak for the first couple years because I want these guys to get a chance to develop. I don't want them to just get replaced by fake quarterbacks immediately or Madden-generated QBs, so we'll give them a few more years. Looks like Will Howard developed a lot in the offseason. Oh, I guess because they won the Super Bowl. That's something. But yeah, we're probably not going to take a QB this year unless there's somehow a steal of a QB later in the draft. But I guess we'll bring Boye Mafe back. He did better than I expected. We'll go 2 years, 21. He takes it. I did re-signed a few players like Kenneth Walker, a couple others maybe, I don't remember. But in free agency, I want to see who the QBs are. I'm guessing some guys like Russell. I highly doubt Russell Wilson got re-signed. Mac Jones could be here. Never mind. It looks like they did get re-signed because I think they were just on one-year deals. But Davis Mills is here asking $61.5 million a year. But I mean, he played about worth that for a QB. Definitely not the overall of a QB asking that much, but he played really well. Gardner Minshew is here asking almost $60 million. Zach Wilson, he definitely didn't play worth that contract. Tyson Bagent, some interesting QBs here for sure. We'll have to see who goes where. But as the Seahawks, I don't know if we're going to do a whole lot here. The only thing is we could get younger at receiver if we want to move off Cooper Kupp, and we should probably look for a corner. All right, we'll go for Cordale Flott, but he's going to be the only move we make this offseason. There just really isn't anyone else I want. Like, I was thinking about a lineman, but all these guys are close to 30. I'd rather just draft one. I was thinking about a receiver, but I don't know. It would be more expensive to release Cooper Kupp and sign Wan'Dale Robinson. But I mean, that would be a better long-term move, but also I would just rather draft a receiver, and no chance I'm signing one of these QBs for like $30 million a year at minimum. The only one I would think about is Tyson Bagent, because he's only 26 and he was decent, but I don't know. So Cordale Flott, will sign him. He does sign with us. We'll take that. I felt like corner was a position the Seahawks needed to address in real life in the offseason, and they didn't, and they're definitely paying for that. Like, Josh Jobe was good for the first game of the season, then has been kind of bad again after that. So hopefully Flott will fix that. But have any of the QBs signed yet? Unsurprisingly, no. Davis Mills does have offers, though, at $60 million. I don't know if they're actually offering him that much, but I guess we'll see. Okay, he signs with the Panthers. I would talk negatively about that, but I mean, that could work out. He played really well. They do also have Hendon Hooker, but It looks like the Bucks signed Gardner Minshew, but let's get to the end of free agency and we'll see where everyone goes. Actually, you know what? Instead, I'll check at the start of next year who everyone's starter is, because some of these teams might just end up drafting a QB. But all right, in the draft, I might have had a bad prediction, unless that's no, that might actually be the Browns pick at number 1 overall, because Shedeur was awful. Okay, yeah, I said they were going to be the first seed in the AFC. They were the worst team in the league. I hope they at least won a game, right? Oh, they were 5-12. They weren't even that bad. That's weird. But all right, anyway, we pick at number 5, going 6-11. That's kind of weird. Oh, we actually found a draftable QB. I didn't know who to focus scout, so I just focus scouted quarterbacks or private workout or whatever. Brett Sharp, we might have to take him round 3 if he's somehow still available. He might be, probably not, but maybe. But with this first pick, I feel like this decision's pretty easy. Now, I could trade down here, that's the only thing, but I don't think I'm gonna because I don't even know if there's a point in that. I don't really see too many players I want in this draft. I'm just gonna go with Danny Pearson. I don't want to risk him getting picked early. Top 5 talent guard, 40 bench reps, looks really nice. I would guess he's ranked like 3 or 4. He is pretty fast for a 336-pound guard too. So yeah, we'll pick him. Rank 5, okay. I mean, we'll take that. And then round 2, there was a first round talent center. I doubt he's still here. Or I meant to say top 5 talent center, but no, he isn't, unsurprisingly. But I still think I know what we're gonna do. Okay, there is at least one first to second round talent corner. That's fine. Amari Duggins, there's also DeMar Hatcher, also Marcus Kellum. So we have a few options, but we're probably just gonna go with Amari Duggins. Looks pretty good. A zone, B awareness. I've had like top 5 talent corners that have looked worse, so we'll take him. Rank 35, got him at 37. So far, we're picking like perfectly in the range where these players are supposed to go. But all right, moment of truth. Is that QB still available, or are we gonna be going with Jalen Milroe again? He is still here for some reason. I don't know for sure if we're gonna start him. I'm almost a little disappointed that he's still here because I kind of want Jalen Milroe to work out, but I kind of feel like we gotta take him. It's gonna be a reach, but I don't really care. Rank 188, got him at 69. That's a big reach. Only normal dev. I'm guessing he's gonna be like a 66. Maybe 67. That might not have been a great pick. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I knew it was gonna be a reach. I didn't know it was gonna be that much of a reach though. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's make up for it. Second to third round talent guard. We desperately need guard. Sure, sounds good. But in the draft, here's how we did. Danny Pearson, 80 overall. Should hopefully be an upgrade at guard. I mean, he obviously is on paper, but hopefully he plays better. You never know in Madden. And then we got Duggins, and we also got Kellum in round 5. He was still available for some reason, but Brett Sharp is only a 66 overall. That's not great. Whoa, there was a really good center. Should have picked him. That's probably the one I was looking at, Corcoran. I was hoping he would be there in round 2, but obviously he wasn't. That's why I picked Pearson early, because Corcoran went 17 picks before he was supposed to. But who were the best QBs in the draft? I mean, I guess we got the best QB. I didn't think very weak would be this week. The highest was a 66. There was Drew Taylor to the 49ers, Dakota Foster to the Falcons, and Gerard Bishop to the Commanders, all at least a couple years older than Sharp. So Sharp was the best QB unless one of these guys had hidden dev. Oh, this is gonna crash my game when I load out or close out of this now, isn't it? Yep, please wait. Okay, well, we got a good QB is a stretch, but we got the best QB available for whatever that's worth. But all right, here's a look at the team heading into year 2. I guess we're gonna stick with Jalen Milroe. He did develop up to a 73 at this point. He's a number 12 ranked QB in the league. He's fine. Brett Sharp did outplay him in the preseason though, but that was against backups. Milroe was going against starters for the most part, so I don't know. I guess we'll stick with Milroe. We'll start a rookie QB if Milroe doesn't develop once we can actually draft a decent QB. Hopefully we can eventually. But yeah, we're looking pretty good, pretty solid, but let's check out the rest of the league's starting QBs. So it looks like the Bears are gonna go with a rookie, Christian Barrett, who has probably just star dev, but I mean, he's probably gonna develop really quickly. The Bengals are going Jake Browning. The Bills are either gonna go with Jake Haener or the rookie Gavin Presley, only 21 years old. The Broncos, of course, signed Tanner McKee. Did we know that? Oh no, they traded for him, that's right. The Browns still have Shedeur Sanders and for some reason haven't released Deshaun Watson yet. Although, I guess if he did get signed in this world, he would probably get something similar to this, which is weird. Of course, the Bucks signed Gardner Minshew. They also were paying Kyle Trask. Interesting. Cardinals still have Jacoby Brissett. Chargers still have Trey Lance. The Chiefs are either going to start Brandon Allen or the rookie Jaron Holiday, 5'11 QB. Colts still have Anthony Richardson. Commanders still Marcus Mariota. Let's see. The Dolphins are going to go Quinn Ewers. No more Zach Wilson. The Falcons are either going to go Skylar Thompson Carson or the rookie Dakota Foster. These guys must have developed throughout the preseason, because I didn't see any good UDFAs at QB. Well, I use the word good lightly, but the best undrafted QBs were like a 61 overall or something. The Giants are gonna go with Jameis Winston. The Jags are gonna go Zach Wilson instead of MVP candidate last year, Nick Mullins. The Jets are probably gonna go with Brady Cook. That's something. Lions are gonna go CJ Beathard. The Patriots are probably gonna go Tommy DeVito. I think he's who they started last year. The Rams signed Tyson Bagent. The Texans went with 2 budget signings, it looks like, but not bad signings necessarily. Taylor Heineke and Mitch Trubisky. I guess both played pretty horrible last year, though. I think Heineke had no touchdown passes and 4 picks, and Trubisky, yeah, wasn't too great. We'll see how that works for him. And other than that, all the rest of the QBs are the same. So definitely a lot of movement back there. But let's get to the end of year 2. I still think I'm going to leave the QB classes very weak. I want these young, or I guess some are young, but backup QBs to develop. Okay, this has been rougher as the Seahawks than I expected. I thought the Seahawks would be like an unfairly good team to pick here. I thought Jalen Milroe would do a little better than he has, but we finished 5-12, even worse than last year. And I even changed the playbook at the midseason. We went from the Seahawks to the Eagles like I think I said I was going to do. I think I mentioned that. Didn't improve though. Well, I guess it improved. We were 1-5 at the midseason and we had 9 points per game. We at least ended up with 13, which is still horrible, but better than 9. Jalen Milroe, once again, wasn't great. Kenneth Walker was good, but only 3 rushing touchdowns. No 1,000-yard receivers. JSN 900. Abe Lucas was pretty horrible. Not a great offense. The defense, we got a little pressure. Chaz Surratt had 8 sacks. Why? I didn't even know he would play. I mean, he was good for whatever reason. I mean, he's a decent player, but not that good. And then an okay amount of picks, 7 total. Let's check out the season stats, though, for QBs. Unsurprisingly, just whoever the Bengals quarterback is gonna lead the league in passing yards. Jake Browning, 5,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 21 picks, though. But Carson Wentz actually had the highest passer rating pretty easily this year. 3,900 yards, 39 touchdowns, 9 picks. CJ Beathard was really good for the Lions. Tanner McKee, 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, 10 picks. Anthony Richardson did well. Looks like Tyson Bagent was good for the Rams. I didn't know if he would do well. He might not have done well for us, but we maybe should have signed him. I don't know. And there was one rookie QB who actually did pretty well. Dakota Foster, 3,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 picks. The worst QBs, though, at least in terms of passer rating, Desmond Ridder. But Quinn Ewers was down there. Jalen Milroe was the second worst for starters. Joe Milton, Brady Cook, Davis Mills. That's weird. Jacoby Brissett. That's weird. Gardner Minshew was down there too. But for yearly awards, MVP goes to Tanner McKee, Carson Wentz at 2, Trey Lance at 3. Interesting list. Also, there are defensive players up here. Well, there's Josh Jacobs at number 6, but Josh Hines Allen at 8, and Aiden Hutchinson at 9. You know, it's going rough for the QBs when there are 3 non-QBs on the MVP list, but I mean, the QBs haven't even been that bad. They've done really well. At least a lot better than they probably would do if given a full season to start. But Dakota Foster at 3 for NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. And did a QB win AFC? I don't think so. I think Holiday's a QB, and that might be it. So my Shedeur Sanders take is aging even worse and worse, but I mean, he was better this year than last year. A lot better. Oh, the Browns were actually in the playoffs this year. They went 10-7, so he definitely hasn't been the best QB, but he's been decent, at least this year. But in the Super Bowl, the Browns do win it. I was gonna say, the Browns could win the Super Bowl because they're a 10-7 team in the playoffs in Madden. Sanders is now up to an 83, number 2 ranked QB in the league. Anthony Richardson still number 1. Tanner McKee, the MVP up there. Didn't really develop that much for winning MVP, only up to an 8 or a 77, but whatever. But all right, for re-signings, I forgot to check them at the mid-season, I'm realizing. I probably should have, but it's not too horrible. We do have Charles Cross, but he plays horribly in Madden. Actually, 10 sacks is like the least I've ever seen him allow. I would go 4 years, 108. Surely I won't regret giving him this deal. We'll see. But Byron Murphy will pick up the 5th year. He's been really good this year in real life. Derek Hall, how'd he do? Oh yeah, he had 8 sacks. How expensive is he? Not too bad. We'll go 3 years, 47. Abe Lucas will let go. Leonard Williams, he's played really well, even though he is 33. He does resign for another year, but yeah, we'll let these guys go. Surratt, I guess. He doesn't take it. Okay, whatever. But let's get into free agency once again, and let's hope we can actually fix the Seahawks team. But, I mean, our biggest issue has kind of been QB. Okay, not a great free agent class. It's almost all kickers and punters, and running backs, which we don't need. This is a good QB class. Mac Jones, the MVP, Tanner McKee hit free agency. Has the league MVP ever hit free agency the following year? The only one I can maybe think of is like maybe Peyton Manning when he went to the Broncos, but I think he was hurt the year before. He had like a neck injury or something, so probably not. But Trey Lance is also here, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz with superstar dev, Will Levis, Tyler Huntley. Some, I mean, it feels weird to say good QBs, but the best QBs in the league here are available, at least most of them. But in free agency, I guess we're just gonna go with one move once again. I mean, this just isn't a great free agent class for us, obviously. We'll go for Kayshon Boutte. Is that how you say it? I used to say Booty, but Boutte? I didn't really know he was gonna have a breakout year for the Patriots this year. I'm pretty sure he had maturity issues, and usually guys with maturity issues don't really work out, even if they're good, but he definitely has this year. So we'll sign him. We do sign him. Once again, boring free agent class, but like, not much else I really could have done. I guess we do need a right tackle, but I would probably rather just draft one. Yeah. I mean, the only one was like Anton Harrison, but I feel like I've signed him before and I feel like he was horrible. He's been really good for the Jags here though, so maybe I should have, but oh well. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 7 this year. Also, I didn't even notice, but the Browns went from the worst team in the NFL last year to the best this past year. Went from pick 1 to 32, but once again, obviously this isn't a great QB class. There are 2 draftable QBs. Ernie Jackson will try to get round 5-ish probably. And I mean, if we can, we'll probably start him. But in the first round, I think we're gonna go with a lineman for back-to-back years. Maybe not. I thought these guys would be better. I mean, Jonathan Amaro's pretty good. Not a scheme fit though. I kind of like the look of Sean Watkins. Great speed, good strength, elite jumping, elite change direction, A finesse moves, A play rec, not a bad run defender. I mean, yeah, there really isn't anything we need like too desperately. There are some really good corners though. That's the only thing. Paris Casey looks pretty good. Elite speed, elite acceleration, great change of direction. That's what I always look for, at least good change of direction. A-man, B-zone. Yeah, we'll take him. Rank 4, got him at 7. We'll take it. Hopefully hidden dev. Does have hidden. Great pick. Corner wasn't necessarily our biggest need anymore. I mean, we're kind of deep there now even, but like, I'll just go best player available if I don't know what I want to do. I guess we did need edge more, but we at least have 2 players who will probably play well. And I mean, Watkins is still available if we want to take him. We could take him here and then go like Burgess round 3 and Bush round 4. I think that'll be the plan. Let's take Sean Watkins out of Clemson. It must not be as good as I think, or else he would have been gone by now, but I mean, we'll take him. Rank 6 in the class. Got him at 39. Okay. And then round 3, pretty easy choice. Nigel Burris out of Tennessee, 1st to 2nd round talent. Looks like he could be a high 2nd round talent. Maybe. He does have a D rating. We'll see. Yeah, rank 35. Got him at, I was gonna say 35. I swear. But all right, let's also go with, you know, we might even be able to get Walt Bush even later. But I don't know what I would do until then. Let's take him here. He was ranked 47. I don't know why I skipped through it so quick. But last pick I'll show, let's go with Ernie Jackson out of Kentucky. Probably gonna be our starter this year, for better or for worse. Does have elite throw power at least, so maybe hidden dev? Maybe? Rank 118. Normal dev, damn it. But he's fine. But all right, here is how we did in the draft. This must have been a really good draft class. Paris Casey is an 82 overall at corner. I mean, I could kind of tell when we were picking him. I thought, you know, after we picked him, seeing he was ranked number 4 or whatever he was, I thought he'd only be like a 78 or something, but no, 82 overall. Sean Watkins, 79. I guess we'll have to start him this year somewhere. And then both Burris and Bush are 74 overalls. We'll have to see which one we're going to start. I guess whichever one goes down the least in overall at right tackle. And then Ernie Jackson's a 68. He'll start. So pretty good draft class for us. And a really good draft class overall. There was an 85, an 84, an 86. I don't know why I was doing that in the wrong order, but whatever. I want to see, though, who were the best QBs. Was there a QB higher than a 66 other than ours? It doesn't look like it. Ernie Jackson was the best QB in the class once again. There were a couple 66s this year. One went in the first round. Tony Daniels to the Lions. Not a great pick for them, I guess. And the game crashed, of course. I love this game. But all right, here we are going to be trading Jalen Milroe. We are going to get 2 first-round picks. I know he hasn't played well, but he is a top 10 ranked QB at only 24 years old. He's worth at least 2 first-round picks. He'll probably play better for the Titans too. I don't think he'll do bad necessarily, but like, just it hasn't been working for us. Usually when I trade players away, they do better for other teams, so we'll see. I kind of hope he doesn't. I kind of hope he does at the same time. But all right, here we are heading into year 3. Here's a look at the Seahawks at least. Now with, I keep wanting to call him Eddie Jackson, Ernie Jackson, ranked 53 for QBs, but not great, but not as bad as he would be in a normal rebuild, obviously. Would probably be like 106 or something, or lower. Probably a lot lower, actually. But hopefully he develops, maybe can win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Defense looking solid. Devin Witherspoon got X Factor. Ernest Jones got Superstar. Hopefully Watkins has a good dev trait, but let's take a look at what every other team is doing at the quarterback position, or at least the ones that have changed. The Bengals are going with Jaron Hall this year. Has he played? No, so we'll see how he ends up doing. Looks like he wasn't even on a team in the 2025 season. Okay. The Broncos have CJ Beathard now. Not too much of a fall off from Tanner McKee, but the Chargers have Tommy DeVito, and it looks like they brought Easton Stick back. That's bold. Tanner McKee is now on the Commanders. Must have paid, yeah, it looks like they paid him a pretty good amount of money. The Cowboys signed Will Levis. The Dolphins signed Malik Willis. The Falcons signed Trey Lance. The 49ers are going to be starting Curtis Rourke. We'll see how that goes. The Giants signed Bailey Zappi. The Jets are going to start Cam Miller. They also signed Drew Lock. The Lions have an interesting QB room. They have Deshaun Watson and Jake Browning. Yuck. The Packers signed Tyler Huntley for a pretty cheap deal. Oh, okay. The Panthers signed Mac Jones and Jameis Winston. No other team signed Mac Jones? I'm sure he was expensive, but like, he's been playing like one of the best QBs here. Maybe he'll end up being their starter, because Davis Mills wasn't great last year. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. They also have Jameis Winston. Marcus Mariota is the Patriots QB. The Ravens have Taylor Heineke, Jarrett Stidham, and a decent rookie, Kurt Pritchett. The Saints signed Carson Wentz. Texans signed Josh Dobbs. Of course, we traded Jalen Milroe to the Titans, and the Vikings have Mason Rudolph. There was a lot of quarterback movement this year, for sure. A lot more than last year, it seemed like. But all right, let's get to the end of year 3, and we'll see if we can finally do okay as the Seahawks. I don't know what our issue has been. I mean, it's been QB play, but hopefully that gets fixed this year. But all right, at the end of year 3, we end up going 10-7, being the first team out of the playoffs in the NFC. There were 5 10-7 teams in the AFC or NFC, and we were the first one out. That's tough. Ernie Jackson was pretty good as a rookie, though. Not bad at all. Kenneth Walker was really good, 5.6 yards per carry. JSN, 1,000 yards. I should have checked the blocking at the midseason, though. Our line was pretty horrible. 18 sacks from Charles Cross. This is why I didn't want to re-sign him. This is usually what he plays like in Madden. Also, Zabel was horrible, but Ernest Jones, 142 tackles, 14 TFLs for Derek Hall of the team. As a rookie, 16 sacks for Sean Watkins, 10.5 for Hall, 9 for Murphy, and picks 2 for Knight and Eminwari, and then 1 for, 6 different players? So pretty good numbers. I promise you, I was just about to say, I wonder if we are gonna see a running back MVP in this rebuild, and we do get one. Ashton Genty wins it for the Raiders. That might be the first running back MVP I've seen in I don't know how long, maybe ever. But Trey Lance at 2, Tyler Huntley at 3. Let's see, JSN at number 7 for Offensive Player of the Year, Kenneth Walker at 10. Sean Watkins at 8 for Defensive Rookie of the Year, or Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. But Ernie Jackson all the way down at 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I was hoping he could have won it, but he doesn't. Man, we might need to draft another QB. I feel like we need Offensive Rookie of the Year. Well, we'll see how much he developed. And then obviously Sean Watkins takes Defensive Rookie of the Year. Terry Davis at number 8. I definitely remember who that is. Who is that? Is he a linebacker? Who is that? What? Was that not a Seahawk? No, he is. Who are you? Okay, it is a linebacker, but he wasn't even listed on the depth chart anywhere. I don't know how he saw the field. All right. Oh yeah, and let's check out some of the QB stats. I guess I did it in the wrong order this year. Looks like Tyson Bagent and Tyler Huntley both had 36 passing touchdowns. Tommy DeVito had 21 picks this year, the most in the league. Ooh, looks like Jarrett Stidham was really good when he played. The Ravens maybe should have started him, but they started Taylor Heineke, who wasn't great. Only one QB with 100+ passer rating, Tyler Huntley. Trey Lance was pretty good though. Tyson Bagent, of course. Jaron Holiday, he's become pretty good for the Chiefs. Up to an 83. Number 3 ranked QB in the league. Oh yeah, and I gotta check. What did Ernie Jackson develop up to? Okay, a 78. That'll work. Rank 11 in the league. And what is Jalen Milroe up to, I wonder? I didn't notice him as one of the best performing QBs this year. Whew. 11 touchdown passes to 14 picks. I thought he was gonna be a lot better. Why is James Cook making that face in his picture? I feel like I haven't seen that picture yet. That's weird. But all right, once again, let's get into another offseason. We'll see who wins the Super Bowl this year. Obviously not us, but I'm still curious to see. We had a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. I would say that's boring, but here that's interesting. Jaron Holiday wins Super Bowl MVP. But all right, for re-signings, probably not going to pick up the 5th year for Gray Zabel. He was horrible this year, but I mean, he was good. I guess we should pick up the 5th year just to see how he does. Might not extend him, but we'll see how he does on the 5th year. Julian Love, only 2 total picks here, but did have 10 pass deflections this year. Maybe we should re-sign him. And then Boye Mafe, we kind of replaced, unfortunately, but he was doing pretty well. I guess 2026, he wasn't too great, so Tyrese Knight, I guess he didn't get star dev with this kind of season. I feel like we'll let him go, though. I feel like there will finally be good free agents this year, hopefully. So let's see who's available. Okay, good call. Micah Parsons, Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond. I feel like Paris Johnson is terrible in this game. I feel like every left tackle's terrible. I guess he was pretty good by Madden standards this last year. I don't know. There's some interesting QBs, though. Mac Jones is back in free agency. We'll see if he gets an actual contract this year. I mean, he's still been playing really, really well. Wait, he was on the 49ers still? Oh, no, Panthers. That's right. We do have a lot of cap space, though. Man, I want to sign Micah Parsons, but I feel like I sign him in every rebuild at this point. Well, I guess I always try to. We definitely don't always get him. We'll try to get him. We'll try to make this our year. We're going to go for Micah Parsons, Cooper DeJean, and Tyrese Knight. I'm even going to go very player-friendly for Cooper DeJean. Still doesn't get us the lead for him, but we'll see. I guess we are ranked first out of his offers. Not that that really means anything, but we'll try to get these 3 players. We're just going to 1 year for Tyrese Knight, just because I feel like we could upgrade there, at least in terms of overall, but we'll see. All 3 do sign. We do get all 3 of them, so those are massive upgrades to our defense. Honestly, in positions where we didn't necessarily need upgrades, but I mean, like, upgrades are welcome. Why not? Ooh, and Bush has Superstar? Did he win Best O-Lineman? No. He's had Superstar. That's kind of rare for a non-like top 10 talent lineman. We'll take that. But in the draft, we pick at number 3. I forgot we had the Titans' first round pick. Get scammed. We're for real projected to have the number 5 pick next year. Why? Whatever. I don't know what we're gonna do with this pick though. Obviously I forgot, so I didn't scout anyone up here, but we'll figure something out. I focus scouted some defensive tackles. Covington looks good. We'll take him with our later first round pick, or Thomas if he gets taken. Ooh, there is a top 5 talent center. I might just take him with the number 3 pick. I guess that would be technically a reach based on where he's supposed to go, but like, I don't care. We don't need to trade down. I mean, it's good to trade down, but like, I don't want to risk him getting picked. Let's go Ben Compton. We'll add another lineman because our line still isn't playing very well. Rank 2, got him at 3, but pick 18. Leonard Williams did retire, so we do need defensive tackles. Okay, the other one went, but that's fine. Cody Thomas. I mean, back-to-back technically reaches, but I mean, not really based on talent. Rank 22, got him at 18. Sounds good. And I mean, now what do? We kind of need a receiver a little bit, at least one with hidden dev. We should probably take another defensive tackle too, maybe a linebacker. Okay, receiver, linebacker, or defensive tackle. Let's see who's the best. Grant Matthews looks pretty solid at receiver. Does have elite change of direction, but I don't love the F ratings. Okay, there's a nose tackle that's a projected UDFA with elite strength strength. Probably don't have to take him here. And then, oh yeah, linebackers are always gone by round 2 for whatever reason. Maybe there's a decent middle linebacker. Usually the left outside linebackers are better though. I guess Walters looks decent. We'll take a chance because that receiver's not going to have hidden dev as a slot receiver. I don't feel great about this pick, but I don't really know what else to do. We could go McMillan, I guess. Or McMullen. He doesn't look as good though. He just has more elite athletic traits. We'll take Walters, just hoping for hidden dev. Rank 43, he's better than I expected. Does have hidden. Okay, good. 91 speed, 91 excel. I thought he was going to be like a 3rd round talent. I'm surprised that was worth it. And all right, last pick, Thurman Carmen. Gonna be an annoying name to say. He ran a 4.89 and that was only 10th for defensive tackles. That's fun. Also, he ran a 4.89 at 333 pounds. Okay. I mean, we'll take him. Probably a 1st round talent. Rank 13, got him at 82. Pretty good draft, I would say. Number 2, number 13, number 22, whatever else we got. That was pretty good. But all right, here's how we did in the draft as the Seahawks. Pretty good. These have been, did they change how draft classes work? Because these have been really strong. Anthony Griffin was the best player in the class, 86 overall at safety. Ben Compton was only number 2, and he's an 85. Like, I'm just using normal draft classes. I use weak for tight ends because I feel like tight end classes are too strong, and then very weak for QBs, obviously. But like, either we're getting really lucky with draft classes or EA made them stronger. I don't know. But yeah, we did really well in the draft. Cody Thomas is a 75. Jared Walters is a 74. Thurman Carmen's a 76. I also took Wiggins just trying to get star dev, and he doesn't have it, unfortunately, but oh well. CPU picked a decent corner. The last thing we need probably, but whatever. But were there any decent QBs this year? I'm gonna guess no. Okay, there was actually a 74. Easily the highest overall we've seen so far. Ryan Schaefer to the Chargers, and I need to remember to not click players. It crashed, of course. But all right, here is a look at the Seahawks heading into year 4. We're up to an 88 overall, looking pretty good. I almost wonder if we're the highest overall team. I don't know what the linebackers are doing. That's weird. I don't know why it's listing 4. Okay, whatever. But yeah, definitely made some big additions on defense. The offense is still pretty much the same, just a new lineman. Still kind of want a better number 2 receiver, because what's Booty ranked over here? 68. Yeah, it's not great for a number 2. He's more number 3, I guess. We'll see though. We mostly throw to JSN anyway. But of course, let me see who the highest overall teams are. I'm curious, and I want to see who the lowest is. Okay, we're tied with the Chiefs, it looks like, as the highest overall team. Who's the lowest though? The Patriots are only an 82. Same with the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Tough for them. But let's look at some of the QBs. Man, Christian Barrett really developed for the Bears this past year. Now as star dev, looking good. Looks like Brady Cook is going to be the starter for the Cardinals. We'll see how he does. No more Jacoby Brissett. Of course, Ryan Schaefer for the Chargers. Definitely a needed upgrade. Tommy DeVito was not great last year. Sam Howell's going to be the starter for the Cowboys. Jameis Winston probably going to start for the Dolphins. Drew Lock is maybe going to be the starter for the Jets unless Max Brosmer develops past him. We'll see. Tyler Huntley is going to be the starter for the Lions now. Where was he last year? Was it? Oh, it was the Packers. That's right. So joins a division rival. Cam Miller's going to be the starter for the Packers. Was pretty good for the Jets last year. Mac Jones goes back to the Patriots. Going to be their starter. They have a really good QB room. Will Levis is going to be the starter for the Ravens. He hasn't been, I guess he was good in 2026, but that's it. Tyler Shuck is the starter again for the Saints. Joe Milton is going to be the starter for the Texans. He didn't do great for the Cowboys, though. And Jake Browning is back on the Vikings. So a lot of changes again. The best QB in the league is still Anthony Richardson, at least in terms of overall, but I guess he's done pretty well. This last year, he wasn't too insane or anything, but was pretty good for the first 2 years. But all right, let's get into the season again. This is 2028, the cursed year, so I don't know how we're gonna do, but we'll find out. Okay, finally, we make the playoffs. We go 11-6. We're up to a 91 overall. Took us forever, but we made it. Ernie Jackson, almost 3,800 yards, I guess 1 yard away. 37 touchdowns, only 12 picks. Very good year. I don't necessarily think he's going to win MVP because I see over on the right, Holiday, 4,800 yards, 46 touchdowns. We'll see, though. But Kenneth Walker was a monster, 5.7 per carry, almost 1,400 yards. JSN, almost 1,400 yards, 23 touchdowns. This was like the best blocking we've we've had this whole rebuild. Meeks wasn't great, but the rest of the line, at least by Madden standards, was pretty good. And then on defense, I switched to the Vikings defensive playbook at the midseason. I think that's my favorite now. We were like 27th. We ended up 12th, so it worked. Let's see, good amount of TFLs, 19.5 sacks for Parsons, 12 for Watkins, 9.5 for Murphy, and picks 5 for DeJean, 4 for Witherspoon, 2 for Walters and Jones, and 1 for Bassa. But MVP does go to Jaron Holiday. Ernie Jackson all the way down at 5, Drew Lock up there, Tyson Bagent at 2, Lance at 3. Wait, I forgot to check. Hold on. What did Ashton Genty do last year? I'm assuming he had 2,000 rushing yards. No, but 29 rushing touchdowns, 1,700 rushing yards, 200 receiving yards, only 1 receiving touchdown. Okay, not that much in the receiving game, but 29 rushing touchdowns. I'm surprised that did it and not some of the 2,000 rushing yard seasons I've seen, but whatever. But JSN takes Offensive Player of the Year. That's cool. Micah Parsons takes Defensive Player of the Year, so we sweep that. Jared Walters at 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That sucks. Carmen at 5. But let's check out who the best and worst performing QBs were. Jaron Holiday was obviously the best, but Tyson Bagent was really good too. Locke did well. Aiden O'Connell did well. Ernie Jackson, of course. Jake Browning back on the Vikings did well. I want to see who the worst QBs were too, though. Kurt Pritchett did end up starting for the Ravens, and he was not great. Bailey Zappi really fell off. Ryan Schaefer as a rookie was pretty terrible. Joe Milton was bad, but this was like his best year so far. Tanner McKee the last couple years was kind of bad. He really only had 1 good year. Of course, an MVP season, but that was his only good year. And then I feel like this is the best the bad QBs have been so far. Like, nobody had a negative touchdown interception ratio. I think this is the first time, so I guess the QBs are getting better. I think the biggest surprise has been how good Tyson Bagent has been. I mean, he's always the preseason MVP, I would say. Didn't know he would do that well here, though. But all right, in the playoffs for the first time, we are going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons, also 11-6, but we are 6 overall higher than them. I'm not going to spend too much time on our playoff run because, I mean, this is a more league-wide experiment than rebuild, but we do beat the Falcons. Moving on to the divisional, going to be facing another 11-6, 85 overall team, the Rams. We do, unfortunately, lose to the Rams, a team that we were 6 overall better than. Love how much overall matters. But we have another Super Bowl rematch. Patriots, Rams. I don't know what, I forgot what the Rams were called for a second, even though we just went against them. Is that almost the same score the real life Patriots Rams Super Bowl was? Wasn't it like 13-12 or something? It was 13-3, but it looks like Tyson Bagent and the Rams finally get a Super Bowl win. He's up to X Factor now. Who was the Patriots QB again? I remember they had a bunch. Oh yeah, it was Mac Jones, right? Yeah. How did he do? He must have been mid. I didn't notice him being, yeah, he was like good. Not the best, not the worst, just good. How much are they paying Marcus Mariota to be their number 3? Release him, please. Or wait, what? Oh no, this was 2027. Okay, I was gonna say. I thought it would show zeros for 2028, but I guess he didn't play at all, which makes sense. Damn, Jaron Holiday is up to an 89 overall, 95 with morale. I don't know what his towel's doing. Okay, it stopped. Ooh, Ernie Jackson developed pretty well though. Number 6 ranked QB now, 84 overall, star dev. We'll take that. But all right, I think we'll do 2 more years. Want to win a Super Bowl as the Seahawks, but we'll see if that's possible. To be fair, we have the roster talent to do it, just can't quite get it done. But we have some tough re-signings, and we have negative 22 million cap. We have to re-sign Nick Emenwari, Byron Murphy, Danny Pearson, Torrey Horton, maybe. I guess that's about it. Is there anyone we can just straight up release? I would assume not, but maybe. No. I guess Cordell Flott. But all right, let's check out restructures. Can we restructure anyone? Okay, thankfully, I think we can. Well, I'll just restructure every deal because, I mean, why not? We should actually have a pretty good amount of cap space. I don't know if I want to go too overboard because we're going to screw ourselves in the future, but oh, I guess it's all we can do anyway. Okay, we now have 29 mil. That should be enough for one of these players. I guess we're gonna have to choose between Emenwari and Murphy. We'll probably go Murphy, because Emenwari, numbers-wise, hasn't been too great, but Murphy isn't interested. Maybe we'll just tag Murphy. We'll go 6 years, 201. Says we don't have the cap. All right, 6 years. What do we have the cap for? Oh, he takes it. Whatever we offered him, he took. Okay, so we're gonna lose Nick Emenwari. We do have a lot of DBs, though, so it's probably fine. Danny Pearson. Oh, that's just a 5th year. Never mind. And then we'll let everyone else go. because we kind of have to. I do want to see who the free agent QBs are, just out of curiosity. Will Howard. The Steelers didn't bring him back for some reason. He's been really good. At least this past year he was. Tyson Bagent. The Rams didn't bring him back. Well, we'll see where he goes. He has 2 offers. Jalen Milroe. The Titans didn't bring him back. Tyler Huntley. Lots of good QBs that are not cheap, but we'll just see who goes where at the start of next year. We'll see what we even want to do in the draft. We don't really have many needs anymore. But all right, this year in the draft, we pick at number 20 and 25. The Ravens have the number 1 pick. I guess they've had kind of tough QB play. They really didn't go for a different QB than Kurt Pritchett. Okay, I mean, he has star dev for some reason. Wow, he was bad when he played for the Ravens in 2027. That might be the worst QB season we've seen so far. So I guess he was pretty good this past year compared to that, but let's get to pick 20. I thought about trading up, but it should be fine. Okay, there are still receivers. Good. I guess we'll go with Pat Farr. I don't think any of these guys are gonna have hidden dev just because it's all playmakers and then a slot receiver, but I mean, we'll take Pat Farr. He's the youngest out of the group. Looks pretty good. I guess Dalton Brown could be better, but he looks a little worse. We'll go Farr. I don't know if he's necessarily the best receiver available. Ranked 16, got him at 20. Does have hidden though as a slot receiver. That's rare. And then pick 25. I mean, we could even just go with another receiver because we don't really have any needs. I might. Sure, let's also go Dalton Brown, I guess. He looks fine. Rank 13, he's better somehow. All right, no dev trait though. And sure, let's go Shaq Polk just for O-line depth. Not our most interesting draft ever, but we got good players. But all right, here's how we did. Pat Farr and Dalton Brown are both 77s, so we definitely made the right pick with the first one with Farr, but we got both anyway. And then Shaq Polk's a 74. Maybe I should have kept picking because the CPU didn't do great. I guess our 7th round pick was good, Chad Fenton. Ooh, and there was finally a really good QB. Thankfully to the Ravens. I guess that's why they didn't draft or sign a QB. Tim Jarrett, 79 overall QB, immediately ranked number 14. He could be the highest overall QB by the end of his rookie year. We'll see. And then I see a 75 overall QB, but the game crashed. I guess we'll find out who that is at the start of the year. But all right, here is a look at this Seahawks team heading into year 5. We are up to a 91 overall. We've built a really, really good team here. We obviously moved Cooper DeJean to safety because we needed a safety, and we still have 4 good corners. This pass rush should be amazing. We should be probably the best team in the league this year. We're still only tied as the highest overall, though. The Chiefs are a 91 too. But all right, once again, let's see what teams did with their quarterbacks. The Bengals are going to be starting Quinn Ewers. I guess he was good for the Dolphins last year, so that might not be bad. The Cardinals are going to start Tyler Huntley. The Cowboys are going to start rookie Pete McDonald. I guess he was probably the 75 overall, developed up a couple. The Dolphins signed Tyson Bagent. The 49ers are going to go with Drew Taylor. Looks like he's been in the league for a few years. The Giants signed Jalen Milroe. Maybe should have just stuck with Bailey Zappi, but I guess he wasn't great last year either. The Jags really love Zach Wilson. They still haven't moved on from him. I guess he's been pretty good. The Lions are going to start Tony Daniels at QB. He's been in the league for a couple years. I guess he started for the Lions in his rookie year. I forgot about that. Oh no, this is the 75 overall QB, Gabe Colbert, I don't know, for the Packers. The Rams now have Will Levis. Bit of a downgrade there. We'll see how they do. I guess he's cheap at least. Looks like the Saints signed Cam Miller. They also drafted a decent QB, Seth Quinn. This was easily the best QB class we've seen so far. Ooh, the Steelers don't have a great option at QB. Cedric Nixon, 67 overall. Does Ben Donnell at least have star? No? Yeah, they might be cooked. We'll see. The Texans are going to start Jake Browning. The Titans signed Joe Milton. The Vikings bring Josh Dobbs back. So once again, a ton of QB movement. A lot of teams upgraded in overall, but downgraded in performance. But I mean, I guess you never know. We'll see how they do this year. But all right, we end up going 13-4. We will take that. Ernie Jackson had a really similar year to last year. I guess 5 less passing touchdowns, but 500 more yards, better completion percentage. So I would say he was better. Kenneth Walker did well. well. JSN, 1,300 yards. Pat Farr, 1,100 as a rookie. Ben Compton wasn't great at left guard for some reason. Neither was Walt Bush at right tackle. I might put Zabel back in for Compton. We'll see. Let's see. Walters led the team in tackles. 15 TFLs for Parsons led the team. 15.5 sacks for him. 13 for Watkins. 9.5 for Murphy. 8 for Carmen. Pretty good amount. And picks 5 for Casey. 3 for Witherspoon and Walters. 2 for Jones, Duggins, DeJean, and Kellum. And 1 for Love. We had a lot of picks. Did we have the most in the league? No, the Texans had 23. We had 20. But another MVP goes to Jaron Holiday. Jackson at 5. JSN does take Offensive Player of the Year. Kenneth Walker at 9. Micah Parsons at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Pat Farr gets 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Surprised he wasn't higher, but all right. I guess these are QBs, so whatever. But this year, it looks like Jaron Holiday was the best QB in the league again, of course. Cam Miller did really well. Ernie Jackson was the 3rd best for passer rating, at least. Gavin Presley did well for the Bills. Gabe Colbert for the Packers as a rookie did really well. Oh, and Tyler Huntley was horrible for the Cardinals. Deshaun Watson ended up playing for the Steelers. That didn't go super well. Jalen Milroe finally had a pretty good year. Took a while. But you know, for overall best QB in this rebuild, at least for real life players, I would say probably Trey Lance. He's done, I don't think he's won an MVP, but he has done very, very well. Pretty good amount of rushing touchdowns too, not horrible. Of course, either him or Tyson Bagent. Might be Bagent. Wasn't amazing in his first year though, but I mean, he did have the better single season than Trey Lance ever did. So maybe it's still Tyson Bagent, but I would say those were the 2 best pretty easily. I mean, Kenny Pickett was good too, but not quite as good as the other 2. But all right, I think we are going to make this the final season. I don't know if we're going to get to a Super Bowl in this rebuild, but I guess we'll just simulate straight there and we'll see if we're in it. We are not. It is going to be Giants versus Bills. So Jalen Milroe does end up getting to a Super Bowl. Sucks for the Titans. They traded 2 firsts for him, let him go, and I guess he was decent for the Titans this past year, but was even better this year for the Giants. We'll see if the Giants win the Super Bowl though. Oh, and wait, I want to check one more thing. Oh, okay, I wanted to see if Holiday was going to be a 99 overall. Still only a 94. I'm pretty sure that's what he was at the start of the year. Or no, I think he was an 89 playing up to a 94, but now he's an actual 94. But a battle between Jalen Milroe and Gavin Presley, who's been pretty good too, especially this year. So let's see who's going to win the final Super Bowl of this experiment. It is going to be the Giants. So Jalen Milroe didn't work out for us, but eventually became as good as I thought he would and gets a Super Bowl win as the Giants starting QB. Subscribe if you enjoyed.